We're breaking down another dance practice today, and this time it's 17's Ready to Love. Y'all know that 17 is one of my favorite guy groups, and I can never get tired of watching them dance and watching their dance practices. And I figured it's finally time to break another one or another dance practice down. And this time, yeah, you guys know Ready to Love. Yeah, there's something about this dance practice, and I think in the way that they dance is very gentle, but at the same time very strong. I just want to pick out like a lot of the details that I saw in this dance practice and show you guys why it just looks so good, at least to me and maybe to y'all as well. So don't forget to subscribe and let's go and roll it, baby. This dance practice is just elite because there's so many layers in the choreo itself, especially this beginning part. They're actually hitting or matching the way that they're singing with a lot of the choreo. And especially that bass drop. So when they start off the choreo, they're actually matching the way that they're singing, which means that when it's choreographed, they want us to see how they're singing the song through dance. And then we get to like full extensions right away where they're doing combos and fully extending their arms. And then we get to this part right before the bass drop where they do a body roll up, kind of like you sucked in your breath. Yeah, you're like taking a deep breath and you kind of naturally elevate. They do that, and they do this bass drop where they lean to the left. So rather than hitting the bass super hard, they just lean to the left instead, where it's more graceful and it's not trying to hit hard. They're not trying to hit that part hard. Then what I like about this is that we'll have members switch around in the formations like that, right? But it's not really, they're not just running to their spots, but they're running to their spots with intention. You'll see that if you watch each member run to their spots, they have like almost like a purpose of running to the spots. Like that part too, they're matching again, matching the way that they're singing. This section is really well done. A scrolling effect with a catch-up effect at the same time, with a ripple effect right to kind of move on to the next section. So I love how you'll start off with one person doing the choreo, and then as the choreo goes on, next person will add on, next person will add on, next person will add on. And it's not just a catch-up effect. There was a scrolling effect on there as well, which I really like because it's essentially moving your eyes to that side of the room, right? Which I really like. And on top of that, once the catch-up effect is finished, he's gonna go back to essentially center stage. While he goes back to center stage, they do this like wave or ripple effect to kind of help highlight him as he goes. It's almost like he activated them in the back when he goes back to center stage. Love that. Yeah, and again, when they're running off stage or on stage, there's a lot of purpose behind in the way that they run. Super graceful in the way that they move in a lot of this choreo. Especially that part where they're turning their bodies. I like how there's strength in the song, right? You can feel the song, but at the same time, when you watch them dance, they're not trying to overcompensate for energy, but rather give you what the song feels like, rather than trying to like, oh, let me hit this bass super hard, or let's have a bunch of combos on this part of the song. No, there's intention behind the actual movement, which makes you, even if you don't understand the language, you understand what they're trying to give you, which I really love about this dance practice. Very graceful, but at the same time, very strong. Even that part just breathing too. Like this a little section right here, I kind of want to point this out. Vernon kind of controls their heads a little bit and their shoulders at this part when he gets to center. Like this little section, because you can feel that shit. You can just feel that shit. And then I think in the upcoming parts, you're gonna have sections where they kind of add on to each other and split off. So I think what I like about this section where they split off and add on to each other is the fact that you can kind of now watch each member in this section, whoever adds on and whoever runs off, kind of like individually in a way where if you want to watch this multiple times, you get to see how they dance. You get to see how they kind of execute a lot of this, a lot of the choreo for this dance practice in particular. I think it's cool to see the individual styles, but at the same time, keeping the same intention, keeping the same textures and details as they dance through the choreo. There's a lot of breathing throughout their choreo. That's why they don't look tense. And when they do need to make it tense, they tense it up. I love this visual formation right here, or like this formation. It's very visually appealing to me because you have the rest of the members that are dancing towards them, and then you have the members dancing towards us. In a way, I feel like this is I think this is cool, and this is could just be me, where they're throwing their energy towards their members, at least the members on the outside of the formation, and they're doing choreo towards them while the members in center, or like that formation, is doing choreo towards us. It's almost just like they're creating this chain reaction of energy where the outside circle giving them energy, the inside circle giving us energy, and in return, while we're watching this entire dance practice, or if they do it in a set for a concert or a show, we're throwing the energy right back at them. And I actually want to point out a lot of the moments in this part is that there's a lot of strength in their arms as well, without like flailing the arms. There's no like uncoordination. It's very like precise. Yeah, it's very precise. And I'm gonna go back to this. They do this like pencil squat. I like to call this, I'm pretty sure it's pencil squat actually, but right here, super effortless. Like, bruh, I tried to do this move one time, or even just the pencil squat. It's so hard to do it. You guys know what I mean. Right here. Whoa. No struggle at all. Come on. And then there's gonna be this catch-up effect. It's kind of a catch-up effect. So they do this arm combo and they split off where one group starts walking towards the back and then goes back to hit the same arm combo to activate the next part of the split off. So I'm gonna go back to this section where they do this quick arm combo. They split off into a half, right? That combo, they split off. They do that same arm combo to split off once again. Love that. In a way, that's like an activation to do the next part of the choreo. And then I kind of want to point out before we get to that really nice effect right there, we're going to go here, and I actually want you guys, I'm going to point out the walking, okay? So I know that there's a lot of times there's groups that just walk to their spots, but I want to point this out because I think they're not just walking to their spots. If you watch everyone that's not doing the choreo and they're just walking to their spots, there is intention in the way that they walk. In the way that they walk, it's also synchronized. It's on time, so they're not just walking. There's timing with it. There's textures with it. So again, there's even with the walking, there's details, right? This is such a creative way to get into that column formation. Was you get that wave thing that they do, wave effect that they do to get to that column formation. They all do it differently, but I think the partners that do it, they do it the same, I think. Oh, they kind of do it the same, but what it is that they do the textures exactly the same, so it looks like they're doing the same choreo. But what I really like about that is when they go into these columns that you see here, is that they do this like almost like the peak is the breath, right? You go up and then down, up and down. That's why you get this like wave effect, because the energy that they throw towards the sky isn't constant. There's a peak towards it. There's a up, down, up, down. Creative way to get to this formation. We get the split off where he walks through the column. And this dance break right here, I love this. Super athletic combo. And this is where they're really throwing the energy at us and really showing us strength, right? So in this part right here, after the split off, where they get to this part of the dance break, super clean. You can hear the footwork, especially with their arms. Their arms have clean angles. And I think the level of choreo here, the level is actually pretty advanced. So I think if I were to try to learn this as well, this dance break, I would definitely struggle because there's a lot of layers to the dance as this part as well. It's not just an athletic combo. There's also breathing throughout the choreo. They slow it down in certain parts of that dance break, but speed it up again. And then at the same time, you have to have strength with your arms to make the pictures pop out, to make the angles pop out, which I really like about this dance break. Love it. And it's a continuous combo. It's very like, you just go, you can't really stop. And if you stop, you will mess up. They even got flow, like that, just small flow work too. And I kind of want to point, I'm pointing this out, all right? From earlier, they do this split off where they do like a fast arm combo. They're doing it again here. That arm combo to get like the reveals of the members to switch to their spots. Love that reveal there where they all turn around and then he comes up out of nowhere in the corner and then they do this like travel in the back. Oh my god, man. I just like how gentle the choreo was, but at the same time there was a lot of strength. And the song's fire. The song's fire. I love 17, man. I can never get tired of watching 17 dance practices because I think each dance practice is just so different. There's a lot of layers within a lot of their dance practices as well. It's not just choreo just to be choreo. I think with this one, even if you haven't watched the music video, you can feel the intention behind the movement and they're not just throwing choreo at us. And I think why I really like 17 so much is maybe the dance style that they have is something that I normally gravitate to anyway, and it's something that I'm comfortable with when it comes to dancing. So I think, I don't know, eventually maybe I'll cover the dance break just because I love the dance break. But if y'all want me to break down more 17 dance practices, let me know. Subscribe. Peace.